Okay. So, so the same example, I've declared a variable and I've declared one reference variable. How it will be done? How it will be done inside the compiler means. So there will be one variable called. So what is the variable name I've given? I given the variable name as x. So I written two lines, integer x. Then one more line, what I had written, integer ampersand symbol, the reference variable. The reference variable I had written is equal to the existing variable. So one block of memory will be allocated for this variable called x some address. Some address. I'll take it as 1100. At address 1100, it will be the variable x will be assigned. So this variable x is having the value. I'd given the value of x as 15. I'd given the value of x as 15. You can check here this part. The value of x as 15, line number 6. So after that, I've created a reference variable by the name revar. Okay, I'll just rename this then. I'll just rename this mm, revar. So now for this already existing variable x, I'm creating some reference variable called revar. So both these variables will point to the same memory location. So here the memory location is 1100 and the value stored is 15. The value stored is 15. So this we have already discussed in yesterday class, but let's recap. That's all. So now if I change the value of x, if I change the value of x to some numbers like 75, if I change the value of x to 75, so here the value of 15 will be replaced with 75. Since this since this variable called revar is there, no, since this variable is also referring to the same memory location. Now if you try to access this revar variable, so even it will have its value called, even this variable will point to the value 75 because they are sharing the memory location. Or if you try to assign the value of reference variable with 115, if you're trying to assign the value of reference variable with 115, and if you try to access x, so now this 75 will be replaced with 115. So if you try to access x, the output will be 115. So this is what we discussed in yesterday's class. So let's check this out. So now x value is 15. After that reference value, I have created a reference value called revar, or I will call it as rev. Let us reference variable, I will call it as rev. So here rev is the reference variable. So now if I try to print this, I'll get the one second, some issue, end line. Okay, this should be end line. Okay, so if I try to print this, the output should be, I'm getting output as 15 and 15. So now I will try to change the value. So see, both these variables, the variable x or the variable rev, can be used interchangeably. So I will try to assign using rev. I'll use 115 is there, no, let's give some number, random number 196. So now reference variable, through reference variable, I've increased the value to reassignment. I've changed the value to 196. So again, if I try to print the value of x, they are referring to the same memory location. So even the x will contain the value 196, so that you can check. So this is the value of x. The value of x is 196. Or if I try to change the value of x with 264, 264, and if I try to print the reference variable, if I try to print the reference variable rev, so if I try to print that, the value will be 264. If I even if I'm trying to print rev also, the value will be 265. I've changed the value of that location through variable x, but it is getting reflected by in reference variable also, meaning what I just want to tell means, so both these variables x and rev are referring to the same memory location. Since they are pointing to the same memory location, you can use these variables interchangeably. So whatever change you're doing to one variable will be reflected in another variable also. So this is one application, like this is how the reference variable is being used in C++. So any doubt regarding this? This was yesterday's concept. I'm just repeating this so that you'll be clear with that. Any doubt regarding this? Any doubts? Come on.
No, sir.
you know so now now we'll check some variations of this, like how what will happen if I pass the reference variable um, to the function and all, so we can check that out. So first thing is you should be clear with the basics. So if you're clear with the basics, then the other part can be understood. So always give preference, or always make sure that you understand the basics very well. So now let's check the few more examples. I'll just uh, I'll just write one example and let's see how it will work. So just give me a minute. I'll just clear this part and I'll just write that. So first we will write that on the better thing is we'll write it on the uh, uh, software. We'll write the code on the software, and the corresponding assignment I'll just explain here. So that will be better, I think. So the first thing is like um, here I just make few changes. Here I will just make few changes to the program and we'll just reflect the same thing. So I have created a variable called x and I've given some value to that. I've given some value to that. So after this, I'll create one reference variable. I'll create one reference variable by the name rf. I'll just give rf as the reference variable name is equal to, I'm assigning this variable to x. So now here how it will be, implemented. One second, I'll clear this. Yes, now how it will be used here. I've created a variable called x. I've created a variable called x and I've given the value 15. I've written one more line and rf is equal to x. So that means one variable x is having the value 15 and reference. So this variable x is having a reference variable called rf. So they both are pointing to the same memory location. I'll just give some name. I'll just give some name. So they are referring to the same memory location and it is having the value 15. So now I will do the extension. Now I'll do the extension for this program. So this concept we have already studied in the previous example only. Now, now what I will do now, I'll create one more variable. Now I'll create one more variable called y. Now I'll create one more variable called y, and for that variable called y, what I will do means I will write y is equal to reference variable name. Y is equal to reference variable name, and after that I'll just print that y. I'll just print that y. So now now first we'll understand that. After that we can check the output. So now what I've written, so I've written one line called, I've declared one variable called y and I've written y is equal to rf. So that means one memory will be created with the name y. Address can be anything, address can be some 2000. Okay, so now I'm writing this line now, y is equal to rf. So what does rf contains? Rf and x contains the value 15. Rf and x contains the value 15. So this rf will be replaced with the value 15. So it is like y is equal to 15. So y will contain 15. Is this point clear? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no. So now this is like I'm giving the value to value 15 to y. So if I run this program, I'll get the output as what is there in y? Y contains 15. So I should get the output as 15. I'll just build this. I'll just run that. See, I'm getting the output as 15. So I think our output should be visible. You can check that I'm getting the output as 15. So now, now this part is clear. So this part is clear. So now I'll do something. I'll do something, some operation. So let's check what will happen. So now I'll write y is equal to. Now I will write y is equal to y plus 5. So if I write like this, if I write like this, what will be the value? What will be the value of x and y? What will be the value of x and y if I write like this? Can anyone tell? If I write like this,
The y value will be increased by 5.
okay. So how about x and RF? How about x and RF? Will that value change or it will remain constant?
It will remain constant.
It will remain constant.
Yeah, it will remain constant. See, I'm just changing the value of y. So if you go to the memory location, it is like here itself. Here itself, I'm just changing the y with y is equal to y plus 5. So that is for the previous value of 5. Previous value of y, I'm just adding 5. So it is like I'm updating with 20. So even though I'm making changes to this variable y is nowhere related to the variables referred by x and reference. So x value will be 15, RF value will also be 15, but the value of y will be 20. So changing the y value will not get reflected in x and RF value because they are not, because y and these variables x and RF, they are not referring to the same memory location. Only x and RF can be used interchangeably. Y is like it is having a separate memory with its value. So if I run this, you can check that even though the value of y is now 20, the x and RF will contain its own value 15. So you can check that. I'll run this. So here 1 second, I'm printing this now. I'll just print this line here. I'll just print this line here. S- So the first time I'm printing y value. So y value, y value. After that, I will be printing x value. Only the first line is y value. The rest is x and RF. So now I'll run this. So if I run this, you can check the y value is 20, whereas x and RF contains 15. So this is another thing. So you can assign the reference variable. The reference variable. You can assign the reference variable to another normal variable. See, here RF is a reference variable. That assignment will act like the normal assignment, just like an variable assignment, like a is equal to 15, or you can assign a is equal to b like that. So this is a second extension. This is a second extension. Any doubt with this example? Is this example clear? So the see, even though you are
Yes, sir.
changing the value of y, the x and y are not getting changed. So now, now we will check. Now we will check how to pass this variable, this reference variable, to a function. So we will check now how to pass this reference variable to a function. I'll just clear this. First, I'll write the code and then we can go. So now I want to pass a reference variable to a function. So so function definition void, what it will do, it will add some value, so I'll just write it as void add, then declaration. This is a function declaration. So after that, I created one variable called x with its value, and here I'll write the code and then I will explain, so that will be better for you people. Okay, now I'll just write the code. What I will write means void add. So I have to call this by add function. Then I have to pass the variable x. So this you would have studied. So there is no difference here. So after this, I'll just print the value of x. So I'll just write the program normally. Then I will show the changes to be done. So this part is done. So I'll go to the main function. I'll go to the function definition. So it is containing 1 second. So void, what is the function name? Add. It is expecting integer parameter After that, the function definition. So the function definition, what we are adding, no? So we'll add some value, so that will be better. So what I will do means here I'll declare one um, variable called b. So we'll declare one variable called b, and then I'll just write b is equal to b plus 7. So I'll write it as b is equal to b plus 7. So now, so this is the normal one you have studied. So sir, I will declare here I've declared a variable called x. I've created a function called add function. So for that add function, I'm passing the parameter. But now you're not passing the parameter here. You're passing the parameter as a reference. So since you are passing the variable as a reference, means in the function declaration, in where you are passing the variable as a parameter, you should use this syntax: integer ampersand, integer ampersand, and here also it should be integer ampersand. You're getting my point? So this is like, see, in the normal sense, in the normal scenario, I written it as in the normal case, like in the declaration, add integer was there. In the function calling, inside the function main function, add, we were passing x, and also here add function b. Like, one second, here I'll add integer b. So what was happening means, so here it was like copying the values of x, to b. It was like b is equal to x. So memory block for x one separate location, for b one separate location. But now what I did, I am passing it as a reference. So passing it as a reference means here I should add ampersand, and while calling it remains same, add of x only. But in the function declaration, function definition, integer ampersand b. So now this statement is for this syntax, but for this it is like ampersand b is equal to x. So what is this line refers to? This is like creating a reference variable. Now both x and b will point to the same memory location. You're clear? You're getting with this? You're understanding this part? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I explain it for once again? See,
Yes, sir.
I think 1 second. Wait, I'll create one more application. We should be clear with the function definition, function declaration. Then only uh, you'll understand this better. Okay. See, this we will call it as function declaration. This we will call it as function declaration. This line we will call it as function calling. And this function definition. This we will call it as function definition. So generally, so function declaration will be at the beginning of the program. For example, if I'm writing a function to add two numbers means I'll declare it at the beginning of the function. So return type. So function, whenever I'm talking about function prototype, I will explain this. So you have to provide, see, this will contain only the declaration, like it will give the compiler information about name of the program, return type of this program, and the parameters, number of parameters, and the type of the parameters. But the logic will be written inside the function definition. Inside the function definition means here the logic will be written. So for example, integer c, integer d. So it is performing the addition of two numbers. No, I can write it as integer a is equal to c plus d. Then I will just print a. So this definition contains the logic of the function. So if you want to call this function means, first thing is, if you want to implement this Function means you have to call it from the main function. So inside the main function, you have to call the function. If you call the function, like it contains two parameters, 10 comma 20. So this we will call it as function calling. So if you want to execute this function, you have to call that function. Once you call this function, the control will be transferred from function calling to function definition. Is this process clear? How the function should be written? What parameters are there? Function declaration means what? Function calling means what? Function definition means what? Is it understood or any confusion? Yes or no?
So repeat once again, sir.
Okay, see, 1 second, I'll just erase this part. I'll just clear this part, wait, so that, mm, see, function means, function consists of three parts. Definition, definition, no, we'll start with declaration only. Function consists of declaration, calling, definition. So at the starting of the program, you have to give the function declaration. That means what is the return type of the function, what is the return type of the function, what is the function name, what is the return type, what is the function name, and how many parameters are there, and what are their types, so this is known as function declaration. Example, here what is the return type of this function? What is the return type here? Void is the return type. That means
Void.
this function will not return anything. What is the name? The name of the function is add. Add is the name of this function. How many parameters are there? It contains only one parameter. And what is the data type of that parameter? Integer. So all this information is given to the compiler. There is a function called add. It contains one parameter of type integer and its return type is void. So this is the role of function declaration. You have to end the function declaration with semicolon. So after that, function definition. So function definition means it will be same as function declaration, but here you will write the logic. It contains a body to perform the action of events. Like if it is addition program means you have to write a logic to perform addition of numbers. If it is a subtract function means, I'm just naming, if it is subtract function means you have to write the logic to perform subtraction of number. If it is a prime, if the function name is prime, or if you're writing a function to check whether a number is prime or not, you have to write the logic to find the prime of a number. Is this part clear? What is function declaration? What is function
Yes,
definition?
sir.
Function definition will contain the logic. So in order to activate this function definition, you should call that. You should call them. See, you people will respond, or some people will respond only when I call out their name. If I don't call out their name, you will some will not respond. Just like the attendance also. Whenever the teacher is taking the attendance, he will call out the student's name, right? The same way, for this function to be executed, you have to call that function by its name. So what is the name and the values which you want to pass? See, if it is a function with integer, if it is like this means I will pass integer values. Here I will pass values integer. So 10 is an integer. Example, 20 is an integer. So if it is expecting float means I will pass the values of float like 1.0, 2.0, like this. So function calling, what it will do means it will transfer the control from this line to the function definition. So this is the process involved in function. What do we call in function? Uh, thing. So whenever you're writing the function, this is how the functions will be executed. So you know one, is this part clear? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you also know that every C program will start with main function. Every C program will start with main function. So now, as of now, one example I will give. So I'll just simplify this. I'll just remove this. I'll remove this. Okay. I'll take a snap of this and I'll explain now. So so now how it will get executed. Now how it will get executed. So you know that here here there is a function called add function is there, definition, and integer is there. So now this function add, it is expecting one variable of type integer. It is expecting one variable of type integer. So I'm calling this variable with, I'm calling this function calling, I'm writing it as add of x. See here it is function declaration, this is function definition, and this is function calling. This is calling, this is declaration, this is definition. So the program will start with main function. So value of x is 15. So if I write add of x, that is like add of 15, that is like, this line is similar to this statement. So for a variable called x, already they would have created some value. So variable x, it contains the value 15. So add of x means add of x, no. So add of x means it is like calling add of what is the value of x? 15. Once this line is executed, the controller will come to this line. So here it will be add of x. What is the value of x? 15. Then b is equal to b plus 7. What is b? 15 plus 7. So this is the logic that will be implemented. The b will become 22. But before that, let us understand few things. So here it is expecting integer. It is expecting integer. So you forget about this. You forget about this line. So we'll concentrate on this. What it is written? Add x and add integer b. Is this part clear? Two lines. One from definition. This is from definition side, and this is from calling side. So already for this variable called x, already for this variable called x, the value 15 has been assigned in the memory location. Is this part clear? Yes or no? Till now you're understanding or what?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. So now add of x. So now this value x is there. No, there is one in memory location. X is there. For that value is 15. Now if you write like this, if you call this function here, the value of x will be stored in b. It is like b is equal to x. Whatever value, because I'm writing it as add of x, and I'm calling, and here see there are two things like formal parameter and actual parameter. So here integer b. So the value of x will be copied to the value of b. I mean the variable, the whatever value is there in x, that will be copied to this variable b. So the similar statement is like this: x is equal to b. Whatever value was there in x, that will be copied to b. You are getting this point? It is like in the memory location, create one variable b
Yes, sir.
and copy its value. Okay, so this is like if you're writing this statement. So I'll just undo this. I'll just clear the ink so that you can understand better. So here two things. Uh, add of x is there. Then add of integer b is there. So calling this, no. So it is similar to b is equal to x. So memory location x, memory location b. I'm copying the value from x. So 15 was there. This 15 will be copied to b. So this is first part. So this is the normal working. This is the normal one. So now, now we'll go with the reference. So If it is b is equal to x means how it will be there. If I write it as b is equal to x means here the same here. If it is b is equal to x means, so it is like this. For x also separate memory location and value, and for b also separate memory location and value. Understood? The first line.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the changes. Now the changes you check. Now here add x, but add integer address of b ampersand of b. So now earlier for previous example it was like b is equal to x, but now it is like for this example how it is. Previously it was b is equal to x. Previous example like add of x was there, and add of integer b was there, so b is equal to x. But now here what you're passing the ampersand, so it is like ampersand of b is equal to x. So what is this ampersand of b is equal to x? That means there was a variable called x, and it contained the value 15. It contained the value 15. Now you're creating a reference variable for this variable x. So what is the name of that reference variable? The name of the reference variable is given by b. So now b and x, they're referring to the same memory location. Understood? Yes or no?
Sir, X and B will be having different memory location, but X and ampersand B will be having same memory location.
No. X and b will be having the same memory location. See, just now, see,
Ampersand B will be having
uh,
different memory location.
no. Okay. 1 second. We'll go to the slides once so that you will get an understanding. So can you see, you can check this line. 1 second. I think I should go with the slideshow. See, you just check this line. You just check this line. 1 second. I'll just go to the slideshow. We can edit here only. So see, previous example, first time I wrote b is equal to x, right? First time I wrote b is equal to x, memory location was created for x and memory location was created for b. First example.
Yes,
So
sir.
second example, what happened? It was like ampersand of b is equal to x. So now what you're telling me, sir, for ampersand b, one location, and for x, one separate location, you're telling no. So that is not that it will not work like that, because how to create a reference variable? How to create the reference variable? What is the syntax to create the reference variable? Ampersand. Okay. See, this is the syntax now to create the reference variable.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
understand? This is the syntax to create reference variable. You just replace this sum with b. You just replace this total with x. What you are getting? Ampersand b is equal to x. So there will not be separate memory location. For the already existing memory location which is pointed by x, even b will also refer to that. That means b and x will point to the same memory location. Is it clear? Or any doubts you are getting?
Clear, sir.
Convinced, or few more examples? See, ampersand b means b is a reference variable. B is a reference variable for which existing variable? For x. So in our previous examples, um, 1 second, I'll just exit this slideshow. Discard. So see, previously I told you that, see, there will be one variable called, previous examples I just told that there will be one variable called sum. There will be one variable called sum. Then I'll write it as and total is equal to sum. So here I can give some values 150. So now total and sum will point to same location. No, the same way here also if I write and b is equal to x means already there is a variable x with some location. So it is also containing some value. So for this variable x I'm just creating the reference. So b and x are pointing to the same memory location. See ampersand, whenever you see ampersand means you just remember that you are creating a reference variable. Reference variable will always share the memory location. It will not have its own memory location. So you can check in the slides also. So reference variable, 1 second, it is not going up. I think some issue. Okay. See, mm, reference variable. There is a definition of that. That reference, see reference variable definition. I will just tell you. Just listen. You will understand that. I think in the slides it's not there. So reference variable means it is like creating a reference for the already existing variable. The reference variable will always share the memory location. It will not have its own memory location. So that is the understanding of reference variable. If you go with this white example, the first example, already there was a variable with sum. For this variable I created a called some. See, it's like I gave an example. No, uh, at reference variable is equal to x. That means already for x, some value was there. For x, I was creating reference variable. The same way here also already there is a variable called x. For that, you are creating the reference b. Is it clear? Yes or no? A few more examples.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Understood, sir.
No. Understood? No. So okay, we'll run this. We'll run the code thing. So see, if I run this, even though I'm making the changes to value b, that is getting reflected in x. So what is this? How it will means 15. So 15. See how it will work means. I'll just show that so that we can execute it fast. Um, so already x contains 15, and I'm calling it as add of 15. Then b is equal to b plus 7 I've written. So that means x contains 15. So 15 plus 7. So we will just work out with the snippet. See how this program will work means one location. I'll just create a bigger one. X, this line, x is equal to 15. After this, I will call add of x. So control will get transferred to this line. So here, sorry, 1 second, sorry. Mm, Here it should be, here it will be ampersand, ampersand. So ampersand of b is equal to x. So once this line gets executed, I'll create a reference variable for already existing variable x. Already variable x is there. I'll create a reference. Now x and b are pointing to this location. So if I change b, even x will change. If I change x, even b will change. So that is the one thing. So after this, b is equal to b plus 7. No, what is the value of x? The value of x is 15. So x contains 15. So it is like b is equal to 15 plus 7, because it is pointing to the same memory location. So the b will become 22. So this 15 will be replaced with 22. Now after this function is executed, the control will come to the next line. So after add, the next line is x. So here I am trying to print the value of x. So if I try to print the value of x, it is 22, because b and x are pointing to the same memory location. So if I run this program, see here I'm adding the reference ampersand and ampersand. So if I run this program, what output I should get? I should get the output as 22. See, I'm getting the output as 22. Is it clear or any doubt? See, after this, reference variable, we'll talk about function prototypes so that you'll get a clear understanding. Any doubt in this problem? Yes or no?
No, sir.
So if you're understood, we'll go to the next one. We'll go to the next one. We'll go to the next example. So shall we go to the next example?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, so now it is like the same thing. Now the same thing. I'll just write the program so that it will be better. So I'll just create integer large, integer large, integer %. So after this, I'll create two variables, x, y is equal to, I'll give some value to that. So y is equal to, so 20 I will give, 15 comma 20. After this, I have to call this function. I'll write this further. How to call this function? Integer. It is returning integer type. R is equal to integer. I'll write it as L is equal to. What is the name? Function name is larger in x comma y. So larger of x comma y, and I'll write the logic here. Logic. 1 second. I'll just write it fast. I'll just type it out. Integer large is expecting two parameters. So the two parameters can be anything. It's need not be B and C. So ampersand A comma integer ampersand B. So what it will do, we'll find if A is greater than B, return A, else return B. So just printing whichever is larger, that I will print. If A is greater than okay. So after this, okay. So what this function is doing now, see, I'm just explain this function and I'll show the output. So there is a function called large. It is accepting two parameters, integer data type. Two parameters, they are of integer data type. Here I'm taking the value of x and y as 15 and 20. After that, I'm calling the function. So what this function will do means, what this function is doing means, this function will call the large function. So now x and y will be assigned to this variable. Address of A will contain, means variable A will contain x, variable B will contain y. That means A is the reference for x, B is the reference for y. So if even this is same, like it is, if A greater than B is like x greater than y. So whatever is greater, that function will be returned. So here in the last class, I mean in the last example, the concept was around passing reference as the parameter. I was passing reference as the parameter. Like here for the parameter, I was giving the reference, but in this example, we are returning the reference. So if you want to return the reference means the syntax will be ampersand that function. Before the function name, you have to put the ampersand. So this will return the reference. So and one more change is here also. Here also you have to reference by passing the ampersand. In the definition also ampersand. So this is the one small change. So earlier you were passing the reference as a parameter, but here you are uh, returning the reference as a parameter. So this is the one small change. So you try to execute this program on your systems and see what output you will get. You try to execute this on your systems and check what output you will get. So see out x value I'm printing. The same way I can print the y value also. Then the same way I can print the value of y also. I can print the value of y also. Try this example. You try this example. If you're not getting this, I'll just explain this in the next class also. So you just work out on this example because you people and also one more thing, you just go through the functions in C. so that in next class also I'll talk about function prototype. So you just go through the functions in C so that it will be easy for you to grasp whenever I'm doing the classes. So just check that. So what will be the output in this case? So what might be the output? So regarding the working of these things, we will see in the next classes. So at least you go through this and you try to execute this, and whatever answer you are getting, you just let me know. The remaining we'll see in the next class. I think those two examples are clear, right? The reference variable. This I'll check in the next class. We can check this. We can check this. If any issue is there, we can solve this. But before that, you just work on this. So this you take it as some homework thing, so that you see programming means you should practice. Okay, so practice this. I've given the example also. The software is also there. I think you would have this code block software. It's an open source one. So try executing this and also go through the function uh, in C, so that in the next class onwards it will be easy for you to people to grasp things. There are so many, some 3 to 4 concepts are there in functions also. So for that, it will be better if you can understand this now itself. So just go through that. If anything is there, we'll see in the next classes. Okay, so this you take it as an example. Okay, I'll stop the class now. Remaining we'll see in the next classes. So any doubts for today's class? 2 examples. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. See, the class strength is quite low. So class represented